Hey girls, I'm back with another video. I hope you're all doing incredibly well. In today's video, we are sharing a luxury unboxing, a little mini haul. Pat and I just got back from Italy and we did each pick up a bag while we were over there. And I thought we would just kind of share it, chit chat about our experience, do a little story time unboxing. But the experience for both of us was just absolutely wonderful and just something that we'll truly remember forever. So I'm gonna start off, a little backstory. I had studied abroad in Florence when I was a junior in college, and my background is studying fashion, merchandising, and marketing. For a while I had contemplated studying design in general, fashion design, but anyways, I spent a whole fall semester. It was actually an extended semester. It was about 5 months in Florence that I had lived and studied with the program. We went to Paris for a week, London for a week, so we really got to see so many wonderful like design brands, like the actual design houses. We toured it, learned so much about the actual making of each product, the different leathers, fabric, quality, all of that. It was truly, I mean, my semester in Florence was something that was just absolutely unbelievable and so special. What?
Life-changing.
It was life-changing. Yeah, it was absolutely life-changing. Hands down, the best experience of my life. And I remember when I was in Florence thinking like, this is just like a surreal moment, pinch me moment. Like, I couldn't believe that I was in Florence studying. My family, like everyone in my family, cousins, all that, no one typically travels as much. So I do remember one day when I told my parents I was going to study abroad, they were like, what? But yeah, they were super supportive, and it was just honestly such an amazing experience. So while I was in Florence, we did a lot of studying. Like, we'd actually go into some of the fashion luxury brands and study how like the layout, the design, the displays, all of that. And by the end of the semester, we had launched our own product line. So anyways, needless to say, it was just amazing. And I thought at one point, like, I would love to be able to buy one of these designer bags in the window or whatever one day in my life. And at the time, obviously a college student, that was not a possibility at all. So flash forward, Pat and I planning this trip like about a month ago now. So we planned it kind of like 3 weeks out, a month out, which I don't recommend for everyone, but since I had studied there and kind of knew roughly what we wanted to do anyways, it all came together. We would love to do another video answering your questions on Italy, anything relating to Italy, how we got from point A to point B, what it was like, where we stayed, all that. So do leave me a comment, leave us the questions that you guys have down below, and I think we'll do a little recap video, also inclusive of maybe some of our favorite outfits or like what we wore, if we would have done anything differently, all that. I would love to do another little video, so be sure to leave any questions, comments down below, and I will get those answered. But needless to say, I knew going to Florence, it was my dream to be able to buy something, an Italian designer brand in Florence, in one of the stores that I used to, you know, window shop and go in and out of so many years ago when I was a college student. So for me, there was no question that my dream was to buy Prada. Prada is out of Milan. They are known for their Saffiano leather. In fact, back when this brand came about, which was 1913, I believe, they actually patented the Saffiano leather technique. It's very labor intensive, but it's a very durable leather for sure. If you are getting into luxury handbags, Saffiano is great because it is so resilient and so strong. It's definitely, I have multiple bags that are Saffiano. It's what I looked at. It's what I look for sure. And when I went in and saw this iconic bag and it was Saffiano, it was a no-brainer. So I picked up a bag from the Prada store. And let me share the bag and then we'll kind of give the story. Somehow we were able to come home with the boxing, which I know I'm going to share a whole how we actually packed in a carry-on. That might actually already be up. And at this point, my vlogs are up, so you'll actually see a little bit more of our experience if you go over to the Rome and Florence vlog. That is already up on my channel, as well as our vlog from Cinque Terre, Cinque Terre, Portofino, and Venice. So you guys can check out those vlogs, but we definitely brought you along to these experiences if you kind of want to see more in person. But this is the bag, this is the box. Comes with like a really nice little, I don't know, elastic thing, so you can always kind of keep it safe and protected. This little metal detail here does say Prada. And again, if I hadn't mentioned it, Prada is out of Milan. Milan is their, definitely more like the fashion capital. It's definitely more city like I've been to Milan before. We didn't go on this trip. But anyways, Prada is out of Milan. And here she is. She is just so beautiful. Obviously comes with a little duster bag. And I love that we have these boxes from both of ours to be able to store, especially, you know, you guys know we're in Southern California. We don't know if we'll be here forever, but it is most certainly nice to have these bags and boxes just for the sake of when we eventually move one day. Here she is. I am obsessed. This is the small size. This is their iconic Galleria bag. It comes in so many different shades. This shade here is natural. You can purchase it online, but you actually can't find this color in the US stores at the moment. I'm sure one day eventually you will be able to purchase, but I thought that was really special that the color is only available in Italy. It just made it all the sweeter. But I was torn between this and black. Prada is typically known for their black bags. It's like the most iconic. But for me personally, you guys know, I always gravitate towards nudes and camels and just like lighter neutral colors. And so I was really torn, but I saw this one and right away the sales associate, the SA was like, oh my gosh, this color is for you. And obviously I agree. Hat too, like you also thought the natural color was more.
For sure. The black was nice. Don't get me wrong, but.
Yeah. I really want, I need a, like I would love to have a good neutral black bag. I do have one in mind though, which will be probably a couple years off. Yeah, before I am able to pull the trigger on that one. But I just fell in love with this. So what's amazing about this, again, obviously the Saffiano leather, incredibly durable. I like that it has these two zipper compartments up top here, which I obviously got the gold hardware. And just a fun fact, if you're in Italy, you can actually customize the hardware as well. You can go in and select, and then eventually they'll have it made and shipped to you. Every single Prada bag is handmade, which is just obviously a test to their quality. The quality process that these bags go through are insane. But anyways, so gold hardware, which is, you know, gold is so me, but you have these compartments here in the front and the back, which I think is actually really nice, especially if you're somebody that likes to keep things like separately and, you know, you're mindlessly trying to get into it while you're wearing it, or maybe it's in the car seat, like whatever, or the seat next to you. But anyways,
that's an iPhone Max.
Yeah, this iPhone Max fits really nice in one of the front compartments. I think travel documents are always great. Maybe if you just have a little bit of cash or a card, like very easy, very secured. When you go inside the bag here, it is just one nice deep pocket, which I absolutely love. And then there's a zipper pocket in here, as well as like a open flap. And I like that because I like to kind of have everything. I'm not someone that's like carrying the kitchen sink in my bag. I have my select things. And so I like a big deep pocket. I'll be able to grab my wallet, maybe my sunglasses, lip gloss, whatever. In fact, the little flap I think is perfect for your favorite lip liner and lip gloss. And then of course the zipper compartment's always nice for anything that you're storing that you just don't want that accessibility to. One thing to note is the center pocket here. You can snap here on the side, and the center pocket is always open, but a bag like this, I'm not just throwing, like it's always gonna be perfectly placed wherever I go. So I wouldn't worry about anything falling out, but I did just want to mention that. And then of course the bag also comes with a crossbody. How cute is this? The tiniest little bag. But it also comes with a crossbody strap, which is so nice because I definitely look for that with bag, but I definitely have a type when it comes to handbags. I absolutely love a top handle bag that is more of a more squared structure. I was telling my SA girl, because she was like, you know, we were just looking at all the bags, and she had pulled out a couple that were like a curvier shape, and I'm like, for some reason, I feel like with my curvier body, with my for some reason I feel like with my curvier frame, I like a squared shape, you know, versus like something rounded and more, I don't know, more curvy. So, and she understood that because she is like more lean and straight, and she kind of likes a rounded. I think it just gives like an interest or whatever. So here you have this. Obviously you have the adjustable crossbody strap. I know hands down, and me personally, I will more often than not be carrying it like this. But I think she is just absolutely beautiful. Again, the Saffiano leather, the color, you have the Prada hardware here so you can see that nice little detail. And Yeah, and like I said, if you go to the Prada store, you can customize all of that if you want to. Of course, it's an added price, and then the bag will be shipped to you, which, you know, obviously you would have to pay for the shipping as well. But yeah, I just think she's absolutely gorgeous. Now I know I'm gonna be on the hunt for the perfect belt and the perfect shoes to match this perfectly, but I'm obsessed. I think she is just so stunning. It's something that I will forever have. It's just so special to buy this in Florence after so many years, and just like dreaming about all that. It was just like a really surreal moment for me. Now the actual story of this bag, I feel like, is where it gets so sweet and even more like special. So the one good thing to note when you guys are abroad, especially like our experience in Florence, in Rome, in Venice, going in and out of designer shops, like, you don't have to feel any pressure to buy at all. Weren't you surprised by that, Pat?
Yeah, compared to US.
Yeah, like here we're in Orange County, and the South Coast Mall is really close to us. It is a luxury premier mall. You have people coming from all over Los Angeles, San Diego to specifically shop at this mall. It is known for personal shoppers to be in that mall, shopping for celebrity clientele. And when you go, you will see people dressed to the nines, head to toe, extreme designer, Chanel, like everything. But then obviously they also have like the regular stores too. So I just feel like here, yeah, it's just a different experience. I feel like if we were gonna go into Prada and Fendi and Dior, like, I feel like here, and it's stupid, but it's just how I truly, genuinely feel, I would want to be dressed and put together and like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you want to, yeah, I don't know. But over there, like, it is nothing to just wander in and out. Another thing that we were just shocked at was that every bag, item, shoes, like glasses, sunglasses, everything, nothing was locked and attached to the walls. Like, we were shocked by that.
Those cables.
Yeah, like the cables. You couldn't just go in and take this bag and walk around the whole store. But you know, like here, you would have to have somebody come, take the cable off. I feel like someone's with you in the stores here. Anyway, so we were kind of shocked about that. Also, there weren't any like armed military security guards, men, whatever, like right there. There was obviously the doorman to open the door for you. Just totally different, you know. I do know, obviously, like, persecution in Italy is a little more extreme, because I was looking it up because I was like, what, why is this so different? So anyways, nonetheless, you can feel so comfortable just going in as a tourist, even if you're just like, oh, I just want to look around, like, you know, I don't know, that kind of thing. We just felt so comfortable. And so in fact, when we got to Florence, we had already shopped in Rome a little bit, just right around the Spanish Steps. That's where all the luxury designer stores are. So we kind of like mosey in and out just to look anyways. But when we got to Florence, we walked in that day, kind of browsed around, same for Pat, and then for me as well. And we talked to this SA lady, her name's Manuelle, and she was so sweet, but I was just like, oh, I'm just looking. I tried on a couple of things, like nothing serious, you know? But she was just so sweet and so, yeah, not pushy at all. Like, she was just like chatty. I felt like you were just chatting to a girlfriend, which was so nice, versus like listing off product details or listing off like why I should buy this. Like, it was just such a lighthearted, lovely experience. And prior to the trip, Pat and I had talked about, would we splurge on a designer item each, because one thing to note is that European prices are significantly less. It depends on the item, but they are significantly less than US prices, just simply cheaper, the same item, but simply cheaper in Europe. I'm not exact sure of the reasoning. I can imagine the manufacturing, like the factories are all much closer. I'm sure that comes into play a little bit. Obviously, markup for US and luxury goods here is a little bit higher. But on top of the actual base price of the item being cheaper, you also get a big tax refund. It's about 12%. It depends on how much you spend. It does change based off of your total spending. Obviously, do your own research, but we had known that prior going that, yeah, it's nice for Americans to be able to purchase in Europe and then come back to the US. So anyways, we had kind of thought prior to the trip, Pat and I talked about it would just be so nice if we did, if we fell in love. Obviously, here we are making this video, so we both did fall in love with an item. But needless to say, this in the US is, the price is $4,200. This is a small version. It comes in multiple sizes. Again, so many different colors. And while you're in Italy, specifically in Florence, like there was limited edition colors too. So that's just something to note too. Like they won't ever have that in the US. So that's just like special too. But anyways, I knew I wanted like, you know, a very neutral color that I would wear a ton. But this is the small Prada Galleria Saffiano leather bag. The US price is $4,200. The euro price is $3,400. When you convert it to the US, that's $3,700 US dollars. So the saving automatically is $500. And then on top of that, you get the tax refund, which is roughly 12%, again, depending on how much you spend. But that for me was another $425. You can obviously see like the price difference is actually insane. If you're somebody that you know you're gonna buy something luxury, it's just definitely worth thinking about. I have also seen other girls mention before, like even down to Chanel lipstick, Chanel foundation, powder, all those things, just something to consider if you are going abroad to Europe. Just the conversion is obviously really in favor of the US with the tax break and then the cheaper dollar amount. So just something to consider. One thing to note with the Prada bags, I can't remember if I had already mentioned it, everything is handmade. Oh, I did, because the quality is just so superior. This is their most iconic bag, the Galleria bag. It was named after the historic Prada store opened by Mario Prada in 1913. This was in Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II in Milan. I've actually been there as well. I've been to that as the specific store, but that whole area, shopping area, and it's stunning. I wanted to mention the bag shape and size. Height 16 centimeters, width 24 centimeters, length 11 centimeters. It does have purse feet, which I know I look forward to with my bag, so it can sit nicely and you don't have to worry about it. One thing to note is that with the Saffiano leather, it is treated with a wax finish, which just makes it particularly resistant to drops of rain, liquid, anything like that. Very easy to clean. I mean, obviously I wouldn't go out in the pouring rain with this. I am always very mindful of that. And I do think too, if you are traveling somewhere with a bag like this, it's always good to keep the dust bag, one, for traveling with it, but two, if it does rain, just keep it inside and you can protect your bags. We did see that a lot abroad. Like you just always, nice designer bags had coverings, or we noticed people like kind of covering them up. Also when you're shopping abroad too, one thing that was nice is started to sprinkle, and they always offer like a, almost like a clear plastic garbage bag that goes over the whole bag, which is just kind of nice too. But anyways, backing up to the actual story in Florence. So we had kind of browsed the store. I held a couple different bags, looked at different colors. Emanuele, I think her name is. She was just so lovely and just was talking about us, like just some different things. They always offer in the luxury stores, we did notice, they always offer water as well as Prosecco or some kind of champagne or something like that.
Spritzer.
What?
Spritzers. Yeah,
spritzers. So we had a fun few mocktails while we were shopping. Pat and I just aren't big drinkers, and we both don't like champagne or wine. But they always offer some kind of little drink and some snacks too, but they also always offer water. And like anywhere in Italy that you can find water, snatch it, because it's just so much harder to come by. I mean, there's lots of public fountains, but you can't just like, I don't know. We were just like, we will take water, please, you know? But anyways, just had a lovely time in there. All the sales associates, they kind of interact, they smile. Like, you just don't ever get that sense of like, if you're not buying, get out. You know, it's always just such a nice experience. So anyways, we had so much to do the rest of the day, and obviously I don't want to carry around big shopping bags. So we were like, and I feel like this kind of money too, I'm someone that always has to like really think about something. And so I was like, you know what? Let's sleep on it. We'll come back. Such a lovely day, like the whole day, I will forever remember it. So it was our last day in Florence. Of course, Florence to me is so special. Pat had said that he just loved Florence as well, and it ended up being his favorite from the whole trip.
No bias.
What?
No bias.
Yeah, truly just how he just truly loved Florence. I mean, I was hoping he would, because, you know, I'm in love with Florence, so I want everyone to fall in love with Florence. But yeah, so that day we had kind of just walked around the Duomo. There was all these artists everywhere. We were looking at artwork, and then we went and grabbed food. We checked out a neighborhood across the Ponte Vecchio Bridge, across the Arno River, into the Otrada neighborhood, and we had like kind of explored over there, went and got a good coffee, bakery. There was a really fun old photo booth that's like known in Florence. There's quite a few locations, like truly the old film photo booths that you can kind of pop in. It's like €2 and you can take some photos, which we did. I'll put the photo of it up here. It was just kind of funny because like this little booth, you guys, us sitting in the booth, for most of the photos, half of my head's cut off because I was sitting on Pat's thigh and like it bumped me up, and there's no, it's like an old one, old vintage one, so you can't see yourself. You literally put the money in, next thing you know, it starts flashing, which anyways, but it was just like such a fun day. We walked back across the river and then decided to do our shopping. So needless to say, I walked in and I was so set on this, and Emmanuel was on lunch, so I had actually texted her via WhatsApp. They are so great about how to contact them, all the SAs, the sales associates. They do kind of everything through WhatsApp, and they're like, when you come, like text me, I want to make sure I'm there, you know, like whatever. But I don't think it's from like a sales commission base, because we'll talk about that in a second here with Pat's story, because I was kind of like drilling about that or questioning a little bit. But I think it's just genuinely like they like the whole experience, like they want it to be such a great experience for you. I texted her, she was already coming back from her lunch break. At that point I was like, I am so sold on this, and needless to say, I just felt it was such a good experience, and I felt so taken care of, and she was so sweet, like all the things. So she like took it just because of the tax, to do the tax break, to get the paperwork done for you and for the Global Blue entry. She took everything, was like, come back in about like a half hour, an hour. So Pat and I did a little stroll around Florence and grabbed gelato, which actually she recommended our favorite place in gelato. It's our favorite gelato place in Florence. She had recommended, because it's like a local family owned business. It's called Perché, and why not? And the gelato is sourced, like it's organically made. All the ingredients are sourced in the regions of Italy that they are known from, like known of. Like where the pistachios come, it's sourced from that region, like all that. So anyways, I'll leave the name of that gelato place down below, but it was fantastic. We literally loved it.
The whole trip.
The whole trip. We got like, what, 2 a day from there once she
tried
told
a
us.
lot. Good sample size.
Yeah.
That was #1.
Oh, hands down. So creamy and just so delicious. So anyways, we went and got gelato and strolled around, and the bag was all ready. When I came back, she had given me a smaller Prada bag with a cute little Prada ribbon on both bags, which is cute. Yeah, this little bag, of course I brought it home, but she had said that I was just one of her, I was such a lovely client or something, that she wanted to give me this little special box of chocolate, which comes from Milan. Again, Prada, Milano. So that was just like a really sweet touch. And then also while we were in the store, they had like bouquets of roses, and so they were like, what rose do you like is there a certain one or whatever. I mean, there was like purple, pink, yellow, red. It was just this huge beautiful thing. And there was a lady there, and here they like wrapped up, I don't even, like over a dozen roses. And I just honestly, it was just so luxurious, and I felt so special, and just, it was just such a beautiful experience, and it's such a good memory that like we will always have together. A little dream of mine came true in Florence of buying an Italian bag there. It was just such a lovely day, and just truly such a special experience. So that's my little story of buying my Prada Galleria bag. I am so in love. I can't wait to style it. I can't wait to carry her out and about. And truly, I feel like this bag I just will own forever, and hopefully one day I'll be able to give down to my daughter or somebody special, because it was just such a special experience. I'll move on to Pat's little story. I'll let you take over. I've been talking a lot. I actually bought Dior, which is a Parisian French brand, but the product is actually made in Italy. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But this bag is called the what?
This bag is the small saddle messenger bag, and there's also a mini version, and then there's also a huge version, which is just the saddle messenger bag. But then there's also a saddle bag, which is a completely different design. So there's a lot of confusion going on, but I knew I wanted this one. Yeah,
Pat knew he wanted this one. Dior saddle bag is one of their most iconic bags. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. It's leather. It kind of has a thicker leather strap here, and then the actual saddle circular, half circle shape. This bag is a unisex bag. So, I mean, I feel like obviously most of these brands, everything's unisex, but the actual leather bag is a bag that I've wanted too. I feel like it's gorgeous, but they also obviously make it in a more men's kind of style as well. So, you want to open it up? I thought the ribbon on this was absolutely so beautiful.
But pretty much the way I knew I wanted this, I knew I wanted this one. I didn't know all the colors that were available. I saw the mini one on like StockX or one of my sneaker apps, and I was like, that's a sweet bag, even for a guy, because it is essentially a crossbody on a guy, which some people judge. But.
Yeah, and there's masculine details to this that Pat absolutely loves. So we'll talk through that in a second, what the difference kind of is for the more of the female version versus this specific one.
A lot of protection. Dust bag has black Dior on there.
Maybe.
And
where's the black?
Come on. That's navy, right?
Yes, navy.
Come on. Boom. Full bag.
We're gonna call it a he. Here he is.
I don't know. Don't know. But overall, love the buckle, love the black leather, because mainly wearing black, or even if you wear athletic stuff, black can go with it. The printed canvas, love the original Dior print for that. They also have a black version, which I like. They also have a gray version. They also have a green version. They're all cool, but this one definitely stuck out the most to me.
Yeah. So the actual Dior, this is jacquard, not canvas, but it's a jacquard fabric. So this is like a very durable woven material. This is the iconic Dior color combination here, like this kind of like navy beige black color, yeah. Which I feel like when you look at luxury designer bags, there's like two ways to go, right? Like exclusive and limited edition, or like their iconic classic, like will live forever styles. If you are somebody that's curious about luxury and reselling, or getting the money back in the long run, I think both of these bags are so special. We cannot imagine parting from them, just because it came from this, the most beautiful trip that we shared and like all of that. But just something to think about. Now this leather here, it is a calfskin leather. Calfskin is not as durable as the Saffiano. Just something to note, lambskin is even softer. Goat skin leather, I think is even softer. Just things to think about when you are going to invest this kind of money for a particular bag. But like Pat had mentioned, this bag comes in quite a few different colors. I know for a fact that you can't purchase this on the US website currently. It might come in and out of stock or whatever, but we did notice that, yeah, it had actually, so in Florence, if we want to tell that a little story real quickly, in Florence, we had looked at it again. We were like, well, we'll come back because we're not going to carry around stuff for the rest of the day. And we were like, we need to kind of think about the pricing, all that stuff. Anyways, needless to say, we go back the next day right before we went in to grab my bag, and it had sold out. Were you devastated?
Not devastated,
but we were both like, oh shoot,
that's
like, is that a rookie mistake? Is that like something to note or call out to you guys in case anyone, sees this video and wants to do something similar, buy a luxury bag? Like, needless to say, we were like, oh shoot, didn't even think it would sell out. And of course, like, a lot of the shops over there, like, they're not storing a million things. Like it's on the, like it's there, or there's one on the shelf, one in the back, like kind of like that. So anyways, do you want to tell the story about how you actually got this bag then, real quickly?
What? So we went into one, I don't know, you talked to them. We went to the one, we said, hey. Florence store. Hey, we're going to Venice.
Yeah, they asked us, well, what does the trip look like? Are you leaving, or, whatever? And we're like, well, actually, we're going to Cinque Terre next, and then Portofino. Portofino is a luxury seaside town. So obviously they have a ton of designers there as well. And then I said, we're ending in Venice, which I knew Venice had a whole row of luxury as well. Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Prada, of course, Salvatore Ferragamo, Dior, all of it is there. So they were like, oh, okay, Venice might work out. So it was just so sweet because the SAs in Dior were just as friendly. The day before we went and the day that we purchased, again, you don't feel like you need to purchase something immediately. You don't even feel like you need to purchase anything. I think Italians love that you love admiring like something beautiful, and their designer bags, their craftsmanship, it is just state of the art. It's stunning. So I feel like they're just happy that you come in and you want to look at something so beautiful. So anyways, the second day when we went in to purchase this, they were like, well, let me contact the store. So they were on the phone for a good while, of course, again, offering water, drinks, like all that. And of course, inside these stores, they are beautiful. The air conditioning is top notch, and it's just, everything is stunning, right? Like the design, the second floor, like the main floor. Yeah, just everything is beautiful. They also always have bathrooms. Just note, you can always ask to use the restroom. Again, another little luxury in Italy. So anyways, we sat down on this beautiful velvet couch and had water, stiller, sparkling, whatever you want. And again, it was just like you felt taken care of and you felt at ease and you didn't feel like I have to buy something, you know? So that was just lovely. So anyways, long story short, they contacted the Venice store. They said that they had this bag and that they would hold it even though we weren't going to the store for 6 days? No, 5 or 6 days. No, we had Cinque Terre for 2 days. Yeah, so it was like 3 days, you're right. It was like 3 days before we were gonna actually get there. And so they said that they would hold it. We actually didn't even go the first day we were in Venice because we kind of got there a little bit later and we were like, oh, we'll just go the next day. So it was just another really lovely experience. The fact that they went through the hassle to contact the store, they had everything ready when we went in there in the Venice store. They were super nice. Again, had it all packaged, all ready to go. And then of course, you know, you always review the product. So she took it out, we looked at it, you know, it was beautiful, of course. I fell in love with another Dior bag for myself, but talked myself off of that cliff. And anyways, so then same situation sort of, they took it behind the back to package it up and do the tax, the global entry, you know, tax reduction thing, the form, the paperwork, all that. And then you get very easily, you get an email, you make a profile. And for us, when we went to the Venice airport to fly home, it took less than 2 minutes to go through the process. If you kind of make that profile and submit your details and add your credit card that you want the tax refund to come back to, you can do cash or credit. We wanted credit because we pay for credit, and it would just be easier to just see that subtraction. On the bill, it took less than 2 minutes. So just be aware of that too, because I feel like there was a little bit of an older couple in front of us and they were freaking out hardcore, and we were like, oh, we were explaining that it's very easy, you know, but it sounded like from a different group of women, like Greece has way stricter guidelines or whatever for the tax refund. So it really depends on like the different country and where you're at. But all in all, for us, for that absolutely easy experience, it was lovely.
So bag itself, 9 inches by 6.5 by 2 inches deep, almost 3. So pretty good size. Like I said, this was the small size, but there's also the mini. The mini's cool, but the phone fits in it. That's about it. This one, that's a iPhone Max, so easy fits in there. Price on this guy in the US is $24.50. Over there in euros, it was 2,100, and if you swap those, it would be the 22.80.
The conversion is 22.80.
Yeah, so 2,100 over there would be twice. So 22.80 compared to the 24.50 in the US.
Yeah, so you're saving about $200 there, and then again the tax refund.
Huge. It was 400 bucks pretty much for this one.
The tax refund.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're subtracting that on top, like on top of what you paid. So again, you're saving like $600 some on this. It's just so worth it to look into, especially if you are traveling, especially you know you want to buy a designer bag. Other things about this bag that Pat absolutely loves is the big buckle. I feel like that's something that is more of a masculine trait, and I agree with Pat. Like, he loved the buckle. He thinks it looks really cool. Clearly Christian Dior written on top of the buckle, but obviously you have the jacquard, the iconic jacquard print that is of Dior. Another thing that he loves is that obviously the strap, a little more masculine because it's a little bit of a wider strap. It's got the logo on, they call it a nylon strap, but then it has the leather areas too for anywhere that is under use. Yeah, so the strap's cool because obviously it shows like the Christian Dior as well in this portion, and then you can adjust it with just simply like a little belt loop here. So you can adjust it. It can be a shoulder bag, or it can be, of course, a crossbody bag. This is a bag that I 1000% see myself stealing from his closet and using because I love the versatility of it. I love that big buckle. To me, I like that little masculine detail to it, but I think this would look so cute with like black dresses, black outfits, things like that. But I definitely feel like this is a perfect bag for Pat. He likes these kind of bags. When we were abroad, he had carried a bag, and it's just nice to be able to fit one of the cameras in it, or like wallet, just the things that you need when you're out and about. But absolutely love the shape of this. I feel like you'll get a ton of wear out of it. So anyways, such a great experience for Pat's as well, a great experience for mine. Truly just something I feel like we'll remember. But that is our little story. That's our unboxing of our luxury handbags that we picked up in Italy. Pat's is the small messenger saddle bag with flap. But that's our little story. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did want to call out, I had mentioned before when I did a little share of my Saint Laurent Cassandra bag, it has been, I think I got it around my birthday time, right? So I think it's been almost 6 months. If you guys would like a review of this bag, let me know. But clearly you can see a little theme kind of size in the top handles, and honestly both bags are just so absolutely beautiful, as well as Pat's. I'm so excited for him. I feel like
to steal it.
Well, yes, I will absolutely be wearing it. I think it looks so cute. I like a masculine bag for me too. I think it's just cute. So anyways, that was our little story. You guys leave us comments, questions down below. What your thoughts are on the bags, if you have been eyeing them too. And also be sure to leave us any comments, questions you have about Italy. We would love to film a Q&A. Maybe even kind of go over quickly our favorite outfits and fabric and fits, like that kind of thing. But leave your questions and concerns, anything about Italy down below. Would love to do a dedicated video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope to see you really soon in my next one. Bye.